Well, that could have gone better. But I say I did a pretty good job. And I was hoping not to spill any blood, but they'll wake up in the morning knowing not to mess around with a witcher. Anyway, moving on. I would like to burn that. Where the hell am I right now? Like, I'm on the outskirts. And apparently there is a supervisor over here I need to talk to. Quest available. Yeah. I need to go back to Sylvester Aramello. I'm getting completely distracted. I'll probably meet them. No. We are going back to this bloody shopkeeper all the way over here. I don't want to get distracted even further. We need to visit ourselves a dreamer. And likewise, do have a few books to read. So, first up, merchant, then book reading.
There must be order.
Yeah, totally. I agree. Order, above all. Merchant, book reading, dreamer. Greetings.
Greetings, master.
Yeah, I've taken care of your little problem.
Problem solved. Convinced the imp to go back to the countryside to tangle horse manes and piss in milk, as tradition ordains.
Then how would I know you speak the truth? No trophy, no reward.
Yeah, of course.
There better be one. Or you'll feel the invisible hand of the market smack you so hard you won't be able to sit down for a week.
I'll give you half the agreed sum, no more. And I'll not do business with you again.
That is as fair as it can be. Thank you, Sylvester. Which means that's the end to the elusive thief. The thieves trailed to Geralt to Novigrad's extramural paupers district. The thought of venturing into that tough market makes me winch. Not so much because of the danger, I have braved much meaner places, obviously Dandelion, but because of the smell, which can be so rank as to bring vomit to one's lips upon strolling within 10 paces of it. Geralt, however, braved the worst and soon determined the imp was in fact a Doppler, one who changes form more often than other men change their knickers. Although, given the hygienic habits of men in this particular district, that was not saying much. The Doppler had no choice but to seek salvation in flight, and it seems Geralt was in for a foot race. Geralt has a soft heart, though this does not always move him to mercy. This time it led him to spare the thieving Doppler, under the condition that the shapeshifter leave the city at once. After that was settled, Geralt talked to the merchant who had issued the contract and brought the matter of the Doppler thief to a close. And thus that brings us back on the trail with a distraction waiting for us right around the corner as always. We're moving onwards to Hierarch Square, back towards the Golden Sturgeon to meet Corrine. And before we talk to her, I'll probably finally read those books that we've got, because they will be sitting in my inventory for quite some time otherwise. I'll completely forget about them.
Well, he ain't easy on the eyes, but he do kill monsters, don't he?
And every so often a wyvern will eat a necker, but does that make it good?
Yeah, I was about to wonder. I had a feeling something of interest was happening here. It was right around the corner. I was not expecting it to be you, my friend, but greetings.
Got the courage to repeat that slander to my face?
Readily. You are a mutant, a freak, a useless relic of a bygone age that should be burned like a withered branch.
Oh, get off your high horse, pal. Honestly, how many people's lives have you saved as a holy member of the Church of the Eternal Fire? You probably... Well, okay, this might be a wrong comparison, but I was about to say you probably killed more people than you have saved, but at the same time I've also killed a fair few people, and I'm not entirely sure if I actually saved more people than I've killed, but point still stands!
How many people's lives have you saved? From Bruxay? From Leshens?
That has no bearing.
Asked you a question. How many?
So
There's
I thought.
something to think about, folks.
Preacher's fierce in the mouth. Put holler at him and his tail slinks between his legs. Come on, people.
Just stop listening to preachers, basically. Prick. Ah, dear, oh dear. Anyway, moving onwards. Let's head off to the Golden Sturgeon. Ah, the glory of not being interrupted by people who are looking for more coin to buy another drink. Welcome back to the Golden Sturgeon. With some very nice music, liking that, which should give me a very nice opportunity to finally give myself a little bit of room. Can I close this door? I can't close this door, it's ethereal. Let's read those books and then we'll find Corrine. The conjunction of the spheres. Scholars have many vices. Possibly the worst among them is a tendency to describe the simple in unnecessarily complex terms, to dress the plain in the garb of false learning. The conjunction of the spheres might serve as an excellent example of this. This name, so mysterious to a commoner's ear, could be replaced with a much simpler alternative: when the worlds collided. The phenomenon itself can also be explained in simple terms enough for a child to understand. Imagine, dear reader, that our world is a ship sailing on a great sea. From its deck we can see other distant vessels. Those are the stars. These vessels each bear their own goods and their own crews. They usually pass us at some distance, barely visible specks, even viewed through a spyglass. Once every few thousand years, however, a storm breaks above this cosmic sea. A storm so strong it tosses the ships towards one another, making them sail cheek by jowl. Part of the crew of one ship can, at such times, move to another, and some of the cargo from one ship can spill onto a neighboring vessel. When the weather calms, the ships separate once again and sail their separate, invariable different ways. The so-called post-conjunction beings, namely monsters such as ghouls and basilisks, are precisely such passengers from another vessel, and we humans are castaways, flung against our will from somewhere far onto a world previously inhabited by the Elder races. Once here, we learned the arcane mysteries of magic, unbeknownst to us before. Could the worlds collide once more? Perhaps. Can this cataclysm be avoided, or the opposite, hastened? Some scholars believe there are beings who have mastered this skill, who possesses rare genes allow which some to seize the helm of our vessel and steer us, to safer waters, or to our doom. And it seems that the Wild Hunt itself is very capable of doing just that. As a mule is neither ass nor horse, though it has traits of both, so are witches neither mages nor common men. Witches are able to cast simple spells they call signs, drawing on the basics of telekinesis with art, pyrokinesis with igni, hypnosis with axi, and so on. They are not, however, capable of utilizing more complex spells. Indeed, they treat real magic with reserve and distrust. Widespread in their ranks is an irrational, nigh on to superstitious fear of teleportation. Let me remind you that deadly accidents during translocation travel occur only once per 100 instances of such travel. I'm sorry, what? Okay, next time I'm gonna be teleported, I'm going to refuse it. That's like flipping a coin. Well, it's less rare than flipping a coin on its head, but still, dear oh dear, 1 in 100 deadly accidents? Oh boy. Anyway, this aversion surely stems from the fact that witches do not possess inborn magic talents, but instead gain them during their infamous trial of the grasses. It can thus be said that their casting spells is an affront to nature, as is, in fact, everything witches do. Well, thank you very much. In the end, they might not be the most interesting books, but I find them interesting enough, which means hopefully we've given Corrine enough time to actually clear her head a little bit. Which now begs the question of where the hell we're going to find her. Also, greetings, Innkeep.
What'll it be?
Yeah, looking for a little bit of booze.
What are you serving?
And maybe Gwent cards. No booze, but you do have Gwent cards. No, wait. You don't have Gwent cards, but you do have booze. I need to clear my own head. Preferably not with booze. A little bit of cherry cordial and mandrake cordial here and there, everything is fine, but no answer yet in regards to where the hell I would need to be. Are you okay? Why are you... Yes. I'm not entirely sure if you were you covering your eyes not to look at me?
Waste of breath.
Apparently. Yes, you are. Dear oh dear. Alright, we got a downstairs area and an upstairs area. Let's go upstairs first, see what we can find. Greetings, Bia. Oi, I was walking all the way to the right side of the staircase. You did not need to bump into me. Dear oh dear. Okay. You've got one hand free. Put that hand in front of your mouth when you start coughing. Dear oh dear, do I need to teach people here everything? Left or right? Apparently left. Knock knock.
A dream in here.
Never witnessed a seance like this before, let alone participated.
I will guide you. You must first achieve a kind of mental accord. I must ask some questions. You must answer them. It's important you're truthful. Answer from your heart.
Okay, so... What is it about, this dreaming, exactly?
Your gift. Tell me how it works.
It's hard to describe. To start with, I must gain an understanding of the bond between the person and the object I'm to dream about. I ask questions, try to flesh out feelings, emotions. Truth is essential in this, and though most who come to me acknowledge that, many refuse to speak openly of certain matters. Apart from which, they remain unaware of others, further obscuring things.
What do you see in your dreams?
I don't. It's my client who sees. My gift lies in summoning the right dreams. At times, nightmares or strong desires impose themselves on true events. It takes skill to separate seed from chaff.
And I've heard that you are very skilled at it. So we're going to dream in hopes of finding out where Ciri is. Well, let's do this.
Let's begin.
To start with, tell me a memory you have of this woman.
What for?
Do as I ask, please. I need the strongest, most complete memory you have of...
Ciri. The woman's name is Ciri.
I remember when we first met, trained at Kaer Morhen. Saved her life once, and she was there when I died. But if we want to have a good understanding of everything, I think we have to start at the beginning. That might be our strongest thing.
I accepted a job once. Did it. Asked to choose my reward, I invoked the law of surprise. Never thought I'd actually meet the child promised to me at that time. Years later, I was in the Broccolon forest. Happened on a girl there. Didn't know who she was. The Dryads wanted to keep her, turn her into one of their own. But the Waters of Oblivion, they failed in her case. Ciri came out of Broccolon with me. I sent her back to her grandmother then. But already, I felt bound to her.
By destiny.
By something more.
Thank you. Would you be willing to share another memory?
Does it help? Because if so, sure.
Yes.
No need to rush. We have time.
Yeah. I believe that after that, I ended up training her at Kaer Morhen. Where she was for quite some time, I figure.
Ciri was orphaned during the Second War with Nilfgaard. Had no idea what to do with a young girl. So I did what I would have done with a boy and took her to Kaer Morhen. Figured some physical training, sword work, development of her stamina couldn't hurt. I remember her standing on a crumbling wall. A stone came loose, she lost her footing. Caught her at the last possible instant. Strongest memory, though, is of her coming out of her room one day, wearing a dress and claiming she was indisposed. Knew then that Ciri was maturing. It was unavoidable. I was lost in the face of that.
I see. Do you wish to tell me anything more?
Again, Yes, no reason not to, I think.
Yes, I think so.
In that case, I'm listening.
Thank you for that. I also saved her life once.
It was after her time training at Kaer Morhen. After the moment when Yennefer first called Ciri her daughter. We'd been separated. I knew she was in danger. I dreamt of her multiple times. I found her at Stygga Castle. She'd gone there to free Yen and gotten herself captured in the process. They wanted to hurt her. I remember fighting side by side with Ciri on stairs slippery from blood. It was the first time she ever deflected a crossbow bolt with her sword. Told her never to try it again.
These memories, they're intense. Do you wish to continue?
I still have got one more thing to say, so...
I have more to say.
Then please do.
She was also there when I died.
It was in Rivia. The second war with Nilfgaard had just ended. There was still tension in the air. For gods know what reason, race riots erupted in the town. I tried to do something, but couldn't stop a riled crowd. A boy with a pitchfork. He ran it right through my gut. Yennefer lay dying as well. Ciri had us carried onto a boat. We sailed to a place where apple trees bloom eternal. She left us there. That was the last time I saw her.
You claim the woman has abilities. Tell me about them.
Do I tell her about this? And also, when she saw us last, she still thinks we are dead. She doesn't know we're alive, right? Oh boy. Anyway, Ciri is a child of the Elder Blood. They call her the Lady of Space and Time, and she had trouble controlling her powers. I think we can trust her.
She's a child of the Elder Blood.
A descendant of bloody Volker. The rebel burned at the stake. The prophecies claim the world's destroyer will be born of the firebrand's cursed blood.
Pure legend.
Know when a legend transforms into prophecy? When it gains believers. I think you're right to be reticent in talking about the woman. I see. Do you wish to say more?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something else.
Not only because I want to share it with you, but also because I want to reminisce on it. They call her the Lady of Space and Time, how weird it may sound.
They call Ciri the Lady of Space and Time. Once I asked Yennefer why. She travels between worlds. Turns out I don't know how to talk about it. Didn't really understand much of what Yen told me. I just know there's more to it than traveling to different places, and that Ciri carries immense power in her blood.
I see. Do you wish to say more?
Yep. One more thing.
Yeah, there's something else.
Obviously, with great powers like that, she had trouble controlling them.
I remember Ciri having trouble controlling her abilities. Yennefer tried to teach her to cast simple spells, and Ciri destroyed a shed near the temple where they were. Really upset her, but it was just an old shed. I know it took her a while to gain control, and frankly, I doubt she controls her abilities fully to this day.
I see. Do you wish to say more?
No. Can we start?
Naturally. I knew you cared about her. But your tone, the emotions you so carefully conceal.
Let's continue, please.
Make yourself comfortable and try to relax.
Certain
You
emotions
must take my
you
hand
can't
and
hide.
talk of Ciri. Tell me where you think she might be. Who could be at her side?
If Ciri couldn't find me, I'm sure she would have looked for another friend.
Who do you mean?
That can honestly only be one person. Yennefer and Triss? No, because both of them don't know where she is. So that only leaves Dandelion. The man we've not yet seen.
Maybe Dandelion. They liked each other a lot.
I've got a feeling this dream is quite cryptic. We don't know what she looks like, and thus our mind is filling the blanks as a sparrow. And also, Dandelion, dear God, what are you wearing? Did I say sparrow? I meant swallow. But seriously, what the hell is Dandelion wearing? I'm gonna have a word with him about that.
Dreamt of a swallow at first. After that, just nightmares.
At times, the dreams can multiply, show the past as well as the future.
The swallow. It symbolizes Ciri. She contacted Dandelion. I didn't know he was in town.
The poet. Heard about him. Someone left him the rosemary and thyme in their will.
The what now? Is that an inn?
The Rosemary and Thyme? Where's that?
As you enter the city through the red light district, you come upon a bridge. The rosemary is just past it.
Dandelion inherited a brothel?
So I've heard.
Well, he will be one happy man in that case. In any case, thank you for your help, Corrine.
Thanks for your help.
Good luck, Witcher. I hope you find your Ciri.
Oh, I certainly hope so. In the meantime, anything else before we leave?
Yes?
Thought so. Thank you very much. I was kinda hoping for a game of Gwent, but you can't have it all. Corrine agreed to help Geralt and put together a dreaming seance for him. Geralt has always been an introvert, and talking about his feelings and loved ones does not come easy for him. Yet that was exactly what the dreamer needed him to do, so if she was to dream about Ciri. In the end, Geralt forced open his shell, and then fell asleep and dreamed. And in his dream, he saw Ciri in Novigrad. With me. The man, the legend, the one and only Dandelion. Who seriously is wearing a bloody ridiculous outfit, might I say. Like, for real, Dandelion, come on! But the rosemary and thyme, which brings us to the broken flowers. Geralt had learned from the dreamer Corrine Tilly that Ciri contacted me while in Novigrad. He thus made his way to the rosemary and thyme, a charming establishment which I had inherited from an admirer of my poetry, for he, quite rationally, expected to find me there. His search for Ciri seemed closer to a happy conclusion than ever before. But it seems like fate has a way of toying with us, and I doubt that we are going to find Ciri anytime soon. Which brings us to my stash. Well, and a shopkeep. We've got our heading.
Wanna dip your dingle?
So it might be... Why is everyone screaming? Is it because of the Fistek addict? Dear oh dear. Anyway, it might be a little bit late in the evening with all the drunkards around. But the rosemary and thyme... that means we're also instantly going the completely wrong direction. This city is a maze, I'm telling you. What we're looking for is all the way in this direction. And I kind of want to quickly visit the notice board right over here. Oh, they really should clean this up. What do you want to do? Reuse the pyres? Oh boy. Anyway, want to quickly go towards this notice board. Quickly get rid of these notices because lessons in savoir-vivre. Which knife should be used when eating fish? Is it fitting for a lady to walk without hose in hot weather? Should a white wine glass be held by the stem or by the cup? Anyone aspiring to rub shoulders with Novigrad's high society will receive answers to these and other similarly vexing questions for a trifling fee by inquiring with Count Nougat, a world authority in matters of savoir-vivre. Well, that's fine. Most honorable townspeople, please remember to warn any passers-by who might currently be found beneath your window before emptying out your chamber pots. Smart idea. You don't want to have that emptied on top of you. I mainly want to remove all of these messages because the notice board shows up as yellow when I don't pick them up, so yeah. Announcements concerning items of a magic nature. May the following hereby be known. The production, possession, or sale of any magical items whatsoever, exempli, gratia, amulets meant to bring good fortune, desire, intensifying potions, and all used to cast curses on their likenesses, and so forth, is strictly forbidden and shall be punished with the utmost severity. His Excellency Cyrus Engelkind Hemmelfart, Hierarch of the Eternal Fire. Yeah. A word from the Armorers Guild. The Armorers Guild would like to remind you the following. No one shall forge nor sell armor nor helmets in Novigrad unless he has first joined our ranks and proved his credentials as a master. Members of the guild must pay 2 out of every 100 crowns earned to the communal fund. Any members who knowingly take on another member's apprentice shall pay half of his earned profits to the guild. Any member caught selling iron helmets and breastplates claiming they are steel shall be stricken from the guild registry, and any member who brings a weapon to guild meetings shall pay a day's earnings to the communal fund by way of punishment. That sounds fair, I guess, but yeah. Portrait artist wanted. I am in need of a portrait artist to paint the likeness of my beloved daughter. This portrait is needed in order to finalize the betrothal contract in which she is to enter with a young man from Govir. Note that the canvas should be ornamented without an exaggerated emphasis on realism, concentrating instead on bringing out my darling's character, Martin Erhardt. Because sometimes you've got some of these arts that really make some kind of preposterous and ridiculous art. And beware, haunted house and cheating merchant. To all upstanding residents of Novigrad, hark the words and warnings of a loyal fellow townsman. Do no business with that blackguard de Jonk here. Wait. Is that... That's the same guy from... the haunted house with Sarah, right? Though his line is held in high esteem and considered honorable, he himself is a swine and a cheat. He sold your residence at the most attractive price, knowing all the while the house was haunted. There can be no thought of inhabiting it, for an evil spirit torments all who set foot therein. For now the ghost contents itself with rattlings and prankings, but who knows what foul deeds it will turn to in time. Let then anyone with half a bit of wit about them stay far away from said home, and never make a deal of any sort with this defrauding de Jonk here. Isn't that... That guy... new quest? Okay, wasn't that the same guy, the Jonk here, who actually owned the house with whom we spoke, or was that someone else? Like, that also was one of the Jonk here's, right? So, is this note talking about him, or...? Huh. Anyway, haunted house. There's a lot of haunted houses, by the way, because there was another one, right? Like, door slamming shut. There is another haunted house. Oh dear, oh dear. While strolling the bustling streets of Novigrad, Geralt came across a most intriguing notice. It suggested the man named de Jonk here had sold some poor fool the house which Sarah, the lovable yet mischievous godling, used as a dwelling and playground. The notice made it clear the new owner was not amused by his unwanted tenant's pranks. Geralt decided to check up on Sarah and see how she was doing. This Jonk here fella tried to pawn off the house to someone else without telling it was haunted. You cheeky bugger. Okay, I'm going to pay a visit to that right here, right now. Screw my other plans. We're going back to visit Sarah. Oh, because that's the thing. If people start selling this house to random people... that might be bad for Sarah. Like, if people continue trying to sell the house to unknowing others, what if someone else hires, for example, the Church of
Oh, don't pull!
the White
You
Flame?
wanted braids.
But I didn't want my hair pulled.
Can't have one without the other.
Then I don't want them.
Okay, I heard screaming. I thought something bad was happening. Braiding? Corrine!
Witcher.
Hi.
Corrine, look who's come.
Live here together now? Didn't know.
Once you told me Sarah had been responsible for my nightmares, I decided to see if the devil's as scary as they paint him. Or her. I came in to find not a fiend, but our little Sarah. And I can't say why, but we took a liking to one another immediately.
Long ago, to isolate themselves from a world of beasts, humans began building cities. But since beasts prowl within stone walls as well as they do outside them, this did not allay human fears. The truth is, walls guarantee no one's safety. The place where you lock yourself in and lock all else out, that's not your home. Your home is sometimes a place you travel long and far to find.
And it seems right now the two of you have found yourself a home. This is actually a happy ending. Is this seriously a happy ending? That does not happen often. It really doesn't. Geralt wasn't sure what he expected to find in the haunted house, but it sure wasn't that. The dreamer, having learned about Sarah from Geralt, had decided to get to know her. They soon became fast friends and had begun living together in the Yonkier's former property. Corrine cared for the godling, and Sarah made sure the home did not lose its haunted reputation. And I better get the hell out of here before I ruin anything. You two, good luck. And be careful with the stairs. They're still deadly.
Happy endings in this world seem like the stuff of legends. But even though Corrine and Sarah might have found one another, I'll still keep my fingers crossed, hoping that they indeed have been granted that elusive happiness.